A day after dumping the Liberals, Jagmeet Singh's now jockeying to replace Justin Trudeau.
And when the next election comes, my friends, I am running to be the next Prime Minister of this country.
This polling aggregate shows if there was an election today, the Conservatives could win 42% of the popular vote. That's at the expense of the Liberals, which have trailed in the polls all year. And the NDP hasn't benefited. It's sitting in third place.
When folks are upset with the red team, they then start looking at the blue team.
So Singh came out swinging against the blue team, trying to distance himself from the Liberals and position himself as the alternative to the Conservatives.
Everything Pierre Poilievre does is designed to take from you and give to the ultra-wealthy.
Singh stayed on his message track, repeating it more than a dozen times.
We've ripped up the agreement with Justin Trudeau. We have absolutely ripped up the agreement with Justin Trudeau, and that means an election is more likely. We have ripped up the agreement with Justin Trudeau. The agreement is done.
But despite repeated questions, he wouldn't say once if he'd bring down the government in a confidence vote.
I will look at any vote that comes before us, and we will make a decision in the best interest of Canadians, as any minority government normally operates.
And people know that. They remember what Conservatives do.
This all unfolding during two fierce by-election campaigns.
And who is ready to elect common sense Conservative Colin Reynolds in Elmwood, Transcona?
The NDP's trying to hold on to a seat in Manitoba and pick up another in Montreal. Now the party's in the spotlight.
And it allows them to go to voters in those ridings in particular and say, look, we aren't propping up the unpopular Liberals. You can vote for us and get something different.
Without clarity from Singh about if and when he'd trigger an election, the Liberals say it's not their priority.
Right now they're focused on politics. We're focused on Canadians.
But Adrienne, this does put Trudeau's government on shakier ground.
Indeed, and actually, it now seems that the NDP has actually been planning this move for some time.
Singh told CBC's Power and Politics that the online video announcing his big breakup with the Liberals was recorded close to a month ago, and that he expected more from the Liberals to bring down grocery prices and not impose binding arbitration on rail workers. Singh also said that he didn't pick up the phone and give Justin Trudeau notice that the deal was over because he didn't want Trudeau to try and talk him out of it.
Interesting. All right, Ashley Burke in Ottawa. All right, so let's bring in Chief Political Correspondent Rosie Barton. So, Rosie, you listened to Singh today. What struck you?
I mean, I think we can say it's not entirely clear what the next steps are for the NDP. Beyond Singh saying that the government hasn't been responsive to some of the needs of Canadians, he's unwilling to say what the party will do when it comes to policies that have been started but not completed under the agreement. Pharmacare would be one, long-term care standards another. So will he help those policies get across the finish line or no? And part of the reason the answers were perhaps so unsatisfying today is that the motivating factor behind ending this deal is not really about policies or solutions, it's about politics. And it's hard to explain your next step to Canadians when it's really driven by hoping that distancing yourself from an unpopular government will help you.
Okay, so then as there's this possibility of an early election, along comes a new blow, right, tonight for the Liberal campaign.
Yeah, Jeremy Broadhurst, probably not a common name for Canadians, is the national director of the Liberal campaign. At least he will be until the end of the month. He says he's leaving because he doesn't believe he has the energy needed for it. But this is a really key role, the person who makes sure there are candidates and ridings prepared to campaign, a policy book. And his leaving is worrying for some of the Liberals I spoke to today, who now see that this possibility, as you say, of an earlier election is not good, and that they are a party that runs the risk of not being prepared. That, and then all these other challenges, will undoubtedly be a big part of the conversation at Liberal caucus next week, Adrienne.
All right, we'll be watching. Rosie, thank you.